Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop. That's the place you're gonna have to go to get your drip on. We got some new drops in there and a lot of new stuff you guys can add to your closet. Dress outside of the box. Okay. We're going to start this episode. Today I'm sending out some healing energy to everybody that's been affected by this freezing cold weather in the polo grounds. Out there, I believe that they lost their heat, and I know how that feels like to lose your heat, whether it's you have boiler issues or whatever's going on. I believe it's the buildings they have over there, and they lost their heat for about 2 days now. So you can just imagine while we're in here trying to keep as warm as we can, or you at your workplace trying to keep warm, they had rough nights on just trying to get some sleep without freezing to death or getting too sick. So healing energy goes out to everybody out there in the polo grounds and everybody that's dealing with this craziness going on right now. And I don't know. It seems like let's just set it off, man. So Donald Trump is out here. He's just changing and signing these bills like autographs, man. And people are starting to see, whether if they're feeling what's going on. And some people are very nervous, and things are pretty tight for a lot of people right now. But through it all, we still got to find our ways to make do and just try to, build things and keep going and trying to push forward because it's not going to be easy the next years to come. So we just all got to know and pay attention to what's going on and what bills are being passed, what laws are being changed and things like that so we can know where to head and where we're heading. And yeah, I have a few things to talk to you guys about, but on my mind real quick, I seen one of the bills, I guess the immigrants. I've seen a lot of immigrants being, they're everybody's running and things like that. I have two things. I have two thoughts on that. I feel like, I feel so bad for the people out here that was just trying to come out here to do it, make a better living for their families and things like that. And they didn't get themselves involved in crime and just trying to take from people. They just came out here to try to make do with what they had and try to build off of that. Those are the people I really, really feel bad for because it's hard all around the world. Everybody has their struggles and everybody needs some kind of helping hand when you really think about it. Even the richest of people need some kind of helping hand and might not have to do with money. So yeah, and on the other hand, just the whole, I seen New York take this sort of like a bad turn when the immigrants first arrived and everybody was just running in, just like, the robbing people. And for the ones that were criminals, that's the sad part of it because they ruined it for a lot of people. I feel like the ones that came out here, just grabbing and taking from people, I know they was just trying to get what they can get, but in, the actuality, it didn't turn out too good. But it's crazy right now in NYC and in many other places going through so much things, especially still healing energy out to the victims of the ones, of people who lost their homes and in the fire, in those wildfires. These are things that, it's predictable in some kind of way, but sometimes, us as human beings, we don't have the head step, before these things happen, and we have to kind of like trail behind the mess and try to clean up and try to make do. So that's my energy's up today, but it's kind of like how can I put this? My energy is more up offline than it is online. Online, so many things are happening and things are being thrown at us. So online, my energy is a little lower than it would be offline. Offline, I'm a little more happier. Can't wait to get a good lunch today and enjoy myself and just get into the things that I love doing. I got some designs to work on that I've been saying to you guys. I've been, but it's just, I got to get my mind settled in to just pinpoint what I want to make the final designs are. So yeah, another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about when it comes down to this whole, I seen some on this the Diddy updates. I seen, and they're saying that his name was mentioned. His name appears 47 times in connection to the 1996 Tupac Suge Knight murder. And when I first heard this before, I didn't really dwell on it too much because I just felt like it wasn't gonna be. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I guess I kind of pushed my mind away from connecting the two, even though that they're strong connections. But now I see that they're bringing this type of stuff up in court, because they brought this up in the Keefe, I believe in the Keefe D case, and so you're gonna, 47 times name being mentioned. It's so many things that puts Diddy in just in hot water right now, that I don't know where to shelf everything. But when they say his name is brought up 47 times, I think with the whole Tupac and the Biggie situation, a lot of things are gonna go unsolved, because a lot of those people that was involved in that have passed away, and time has went on, and evidence has been switched and things. So I don't know, I believe, of course, his name will probably be mentioned, but if they have substantial evidence, this is going to be more stuff piled on that can possibly be added into Diddy's case, because I'm believing this is Keefe D's case that this pulled up in. So I'm not sure if this is attached to Diddy, but his name has been brought up. And whenever Diddy's name is being brought up in these times, it's nothing good. It's nothing good. So I seen that, and I was just like, man, this is something. This is like an extra dig in the hole that's already so deep. Another thing with this whole ASAP Rocky, the trial had began, and they offered him 100 and I believe 80 days in prison, but he decided not to go, and he's going to fight the case. And I look at this like, this is one of those things, if you got to know, I don't really know the whole situation of what happened, but from what I've read and just the details of it so far, it seems like they do have video, and he would know exactly what happened and if he can fight it, because there's a lot of things that goes into play people don't understand when it comes down to assault cases. It's if you're trying to, because let's just say somebody gets assaulted, and let's just say the weapon doesn't pop up, but there's camera footage, and you have the victims and the people involved, and everybody involved. Just because the weapon doesn't pop up or things like that, that's not really a strong enough case when it deals with assault. If the person is there saying that you assaulted them and this is the way you did this and that, man, that's going to be a hard case to fight. But I wish him all the best with it. And what I take from that, a lesson I can take out of that will be, when it comes down to, I don't know if you and your man, it's this friendships that people think that they have that's not real. They're not really friendships. They're mostly associates, people that you might could only trust in a work environment, I would say, but not around family or not around people that, that you care about. So maybe, him and he didn't, sometimes, I feel like Rocky broke off from this whole crew type of living, like the crew, just dudes living around each other, just building. I believe he broke away from that, and he's more structured himself in a family orientated, position with him and Rihanna. So I'm looking at that, and I'm saying to myself, those cut off links, you have to make sure the people that's still around you and your family, because if you can't trust them and you have a problem going on and you have to go to these measures, man, what is it worth it, man? You might as well just cut them off from the beginning. Make sure anybody you feel like you might possibly have to do something to or allegedly do something to, they shouldn't even be around, man. And if they do happen to be in your presence, that's when things get handled. But that's a tricky one, and it's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a tough fight. But I wish him all the best with that. And shouts out to Rihanna. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. I love you much. Family for life. Let me see. Oh, you know what? There was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about before I just get into every single topic here. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I put it. Okay. Yes. So recently we've heard that Fat Joe, he did a show out in Chicago, and at first when I seen like a clip of it, and I said, I didn't really pay too much mind to it, because I felt like, in these times of AI, they could have added the booze and things like that just because of what he had going on. But then the more it went around, and I seen it on a lot more people talking on it and saying that he was in Chicago and he did get booed. This just goes to show you can't just when it comes to hip hop and it comes to rap in these times, and it's different from before just because we have social media. if you do something in a disrespectful manner, it's just like Kanye West. If you do or say something in a disrespectful manner, and then just think that your job or your music won't be affected by it, it will. You can't just go back to work thinking that what you said last week wasn't harmful to what you got going on in your future. And it's sad, but I just feel like with the whole Fat Joe thing, he could have, if he truly meant it, he could have just apologized and try to come to some terms and find find more of a resolution, find more of a solution out of what he's saying, and maybe find a direct. If you're directing what you're saying to somebody, make it more direct. If whenever you hear somebody saying something about a whole group of people, 9 out of 10 times that's probably going to be most likely wrong. When you labeling anything like a whole group of people, they did a group of people, just think about how hard it is to come together, and you think a whole group of people are going to do the same exact thing. So just doing it that way, you're going to find yourself in a place where it's going to be never no good. I seen him up there and they was booing him. It's like, Fat Joe, you should have apologized. I feel like you should have apologized, because the FBA did a lot for not only just hip hop but just black people in general. And not only in these times, it's so hard to find people that you can stand behind and have a little bit of a trust in, even in our culture, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other cultures, but I speak for us. It's hard to find people you can have trust in and like similar ideologies, because nowadays a lot of people are driven by money. And then, you always keep open arms to the people that get it later, but at the same point, it's kind of like that trust is kind of missing when you see things like let's just go back to the inauguration we spoke on the last live. Nelly got a lot of backlash, as well as Snoop, because of just what hip hop stood for, what we thought. Because I didn't, to be honest with you, the only reason why, well, I guess now Nelly would see a whole different light. We never know. People's opinions could change on certain things. But Nelly said he didn't get paid, but there people are saying that he did get paid. But regardless of that, if you needed the money, in hip hop, we gotta as a community, we have to understand that when I say money isn't everything, I don't mean that if you're broke, you're not gonna survive, But I just mean, when I say money isn't everything, it shouldn't be the leading thing that makes you say, okay, let's just do it. That should never ever be the leading thing of anything, because that's when you deal with that, you'll find out how big this world is, and how that was up to this day that destroys so many companies, so many people, so many lives, that those same thoughts and thinking that way. So you got to be very careful. If you're a rapper, you still got to stand on something. You just can't take every check that's thrown at you. You have to be able to stand on the things that you believe in. And if it doesn't like coincide with what you got going on, then sometimes the money is not even worth it. And that's one of the reasons why I don't go get on here and start talking down on people, this and that, about how much money they have or how they living in this. Because I know at any point that I could be in these same predicaments, in these same situations, if I don't keep my mind right and if I don't do the right things to just survive. So I'm not gonna go talk about somebody and then the karma hit me back and then I'm in their position. And a lot of these dudes, you see a lot of rappers, the reason why you see content creators speaking on certain people, because deep down inside we know a lot of them, they don't really stand for anything. Yeah, it sounds good at what you're saying, but behind it all, it's all about the money. And that's the reason why I always tell you guys, like, with so many people dealing with mental issues and health issues and things like that in these times, from whether it be foods or whatever you got going on in your life, why would you see so many artists still trying to push liquor and things like that more hurts the body, when you live it out and you understand that could be detrimental later on in your life, and the youth are the ones that's trying to come up and see what's going on? It's almost like pushing the same poison that other people push on our communities to get a profit off of. And it makes the audience, it makes people lose trust in artists. It makes the artists seem like they're just doing anything for the money. And I just can't stand that now. And the thing about it that makes it so nasty, a lot of artists, they made these mistakes of losing their money doing stupid things, whether it was buying a lot of jewelry, just doing things that they could have saved and put in different places to make their money grow. So this miseducation on how to get more money and flip money and make it work for you. They don't have that. So now people they know that, and they take them and they start to puppet them and direct them to do different things and sell to the people, and for pennies on the dollar, and it's detrimental to the community because people actually think these people are out here. From a distance, it's hard to identify who is who. We all look as one, and I think as far as our culture, we are separating, but it's separating. At first, I thought to myself, damn, why are we separating all the time? But then I thought to myself, it might not be bad because it kind of gives a route of the people that want to do right and want to learn more than the people that's just don't have an understanding of it and just going for anything. Because in our culture, money is a big deal. It is a big deal. I believe that in the world, money is a big deal, but sometimes people put that over everything just because of how they came up, and they end up hurting their own people just to get another dollar. And I've seen that in the hip hop culture a lot. A lot of people, you could always tell a person's character if the first thing they speak on are their albums or their music, or if they're trying to be disrespectful. Oh, somebody ain't got no money or this and that. And it's like, dude, where do you come from? And what type of story are you telling? Are you lying to people? Have you had it good and you're just at a point where you want to talk to people anyway? Don't you know that there's karma? Don't you know that money, it can be given to you and taken away? So all of these things shows that a lot of people, they threw away their morals, their integrity, everything that they say they once, respected, they'll throw that away because they can be bought. In these times, I think that people are taking like that whole like Squid Games type of attitude towards life, and that's why people are lost. I always, it's cool to be the man or at the top of your the peak of your whatever you're doing, and people are awarding you for it. But you always got to remember that when you made it up there, you didn't just make it there by yourself. Even if it's only you they're highlighting, there's people that rooted for you, that people that wanted to see you there. So when you forget about that and you lose sense of the people that got you to the place where you're at, you start becoming this person where it's like you're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. You don't care about people, and you look at people just like objects. How Diddy looked at those females and males that he slept with and dated. So when you see that type of energy going around in the world that we're living today, you got to know how to get yourself in groups of people and put yourself with the good people, because a lot of people, they save face, and a lot of people it's Halloween for these people. It's all year round. They're putting on this mask that they're good people, this and that. Oh, I'm doing it for my community, but really inside, they have selfish intentions. Their friends, they know that the friends that they claim that's around them, they know it, they've seen it, they dealt with it. They had to deal with these type of people with these narcissistic ways because that's the way they've been treated at their job. So now they treat everybody around them, including their families, like they ain't anything. And that type of energy puts you in karma's way quicker than you think. And I just want you guys to know that, like, when you see these people out there and they're just, like I have seen a lot of people too. They had a lot more. I see this time around for the celebrities that lost their homes in the wildfires. A lot of people have more love for them. Then you get your one or two like, oh, that's how it should be, or this and that. That's the type of energy that that you got to stay away from those people. All they can see is that revenge part of it. Revenge is one thing, but coming together is another. And as crazy, and some people might find it corny because what they see on social media every single day. But at the end of the day, each one of us, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, we all are going to be affected in this year to come, because we're going to start seeing that there's some things that you can't really block out. There's some things you really can't, there's not really a place where, if there was a place for wealthy people to go over there and they be extra protected, it's no way in the world. Things are happening, and some things are unavoidable. Like, you can be protective within yourself, but then you have your family, your kids, your friends that you care about out there, and not everybody's on that same level of thinking. You might be in protective mode and they might just be in explore mode, or I just want to live mode, and then they find themselves in a place where it affects everybody. So it's crazy. And I don't know why I see a lot of people with these sad faces of just, with Donald Trump. I think we're at a place where we want to see, you know, hopefully he's going to do the best he can and we get some kind of benefits out of this because, you know, a lot, I see people like, we at a point where the sense of complaining at this point, it's not like they were neck to neck in the votes, you know what I mean? So we at a point where we have to deal with it and we have to see what's next to come. When it comes down to Nelly and those guys performing, I see a lot of rappers just taking opportunities because they don't want to lose what they have and they're just going for the money. It's sad. That's why I always tell you guys, be careful of who you invest in. Invest in the people that they do care about their communities too, or they do have some sense of remembering where they came from. If you invest into a person that's just lost like that and don't care and they can splurt out anything because they feel like they have this like power, then you're feeding them your energy. You're giving them something that they don't deserve. Don't do that. Don't do that. Even if you gotta take what should I say? Take like a break from what you normally listen to or what you normally buy. Take your little break and you see not only within that break you save money and you put into something that has to do with yourself, your hobbies, your loves or something, you know. We gotta make I'm trying to figure everything out as I go because we have to do some restructuring, rewiring. Everybody does because, you know, life takes you on different routes, and if sometimes they push you this way, you gotta know if you're going that way, what's the most benefits you can get over there as far as you and the ones you coming with. You see, I seen a post where Offset and Cardi. A lot of relationships, whether it's not just entertainment, it's around the world. A lot of relationships in these times, the things that people are fussing and fighting over, it's actually ruining the way we communicate. Now, I was gonna put up this story that I seen on TikTok, but it was just, I had problems with putting it up and putting it all together. I'll maybe work on it. I got a little surprise video dropping for you guys later on tonight too. So you guys stay tuned to that. So subscribe now if you're not subscribed and you're just watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I have some really good content conversations coming. And if you missed out on any conversations, the last videos I dropped, let's see, today you guys got this is a big one, the biracial divide. People that's living a biracial life, I should say, if that is the best way I can say it right now, lack of words. Yeah, people that's living through this biracial experience, they're kind of caught in the middle where they're not black enough for the black community and they're not white enough for the white community. So they're in the middle, and sometimes they get a divide depending on what sides of the family. So I had this conversation going around, and I hope you guys really tune into that one. I really appreciate all my Latinos. They even corrected me. I was saying Spanish, and I was talking about their culture, and I said something about Spanish, and somebody shouts out to everybody that supports the channel. Corrected me on, you know, just saying Spanish could come off offensive. So Latinos, Hispanics, shouts out to you guys. You guys really did some big support on the conversation, and it's still going on today. So if anybody wants to join that conversation and just see the different dynamics that they're going through, you'll understand that there's similarities in everybody's cultures. And yeah, so shouts out to all my Hispanics, and because I grew up around a lot of different cultures. And what I'm trying to do is bring these conversations to you guys so you guys can understand that you can see it from a distance, analyze what's going on, and look at another culture and realize that this argument is going on. It might be the same argument going on just in a different language, you know? So I'm hoping that I know y'all are really loving them. I see the comments, so shouts out to y'all. All the great comments y'all left me. I read them all, and I appreciate all the love. I try to keep everything positive, and sometimes, you know, not everything in life is positive. Sometimes it gets negative, but I try to, everybody that leaves positive energy on my comments, I always try to hit you back, hit a heart in there, a thumbs up, let you know I read it, and I appreciate you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Another thing I seen was Rick Ross. He owes the IRS, let me see, I believe it's only $65,000 in taxes, and like I told you guys, I'm not sure. I see, I'm pretty sure Rick Ross could cover that. $65,000. I'm pretty sure he should be able to cover that, being that, just knowing that he has the big homes and a bunch of cars. He even had cars all over the lawn, having like his own like car show. So I'm pretty sure he could cover that. So I don't know what's going on with that. Sometimes it can be also the people that you have filing your taxes, the people that you have just watching your money and making sure things are in place. Sometimes those can be the same people that turn around and put you in a bad place. So yeah, I think he could cover 65,000. All that jewelry and stuff he'd be wearing, I'm pretty sure, you know. Let me see what else we got. Kanye West. Kanye West. Can we talk about Kanye West? So Kanye West, he declares, they said, John Wick Vendetta against fashion brands. Kanye is going after the fashion industry. Look, why, what's up with that? Like, hip hop grew this thing where you have to go after these people that started their story. Why don't you start your own story? You never started it yet. Why you have to go after these brands? That's my whole thing. Like, when I say these brands don't care about you, or when I say like people are spending their last, that doesn't mean that look, all those brands that we see, like the Louis, the Gucci's, those are family those are family brands, and they built their story. Just because if you want to drop your fashion, you don't have to go tear somebody down. Hip hop has that, like, oh, I have to battle him, and you know what they really mean to say? No, I have to bite him. I gotta bite him. I gotta do what he's doing and I'm gonna do it better. It's not gonna work. And his sneakers that he dropped, it's like, totally lost, totally lost. And then on the other side of the ship, on the other side of the house, I should say, you got Pharrell over there, and he's marching and prancing for Louis Vuitton in a time where he can't even see that his own folks out here and his own communities in these different places, people are struggling. I just see that some people are caught up they just want to keep people's eyes on them. And that lost sense of reality, man, you could just tell, man. I know they probably run from mirrors when they see it, like vampires. Because, I mean, come on now. And just to the youth coming up, you don't have to go at these people's companies to try to get your brand up. The reason why, if you're in the black community, the reason why a lot of these brands are not going is because we don't believe in each other. And we can't stick together to support each other. Yeah, you might throw on a hoodie or two from one of your friends, or support one of your friends from down the block. But that support only goes about so far, because people are not really, you just throw in that support because you know that person. But the person that you don't know, you're not buying into that person. You're going off and buying into a lot of other brands that probably don't necessarily care too much about what you got going on. Now, is it to say that you have to buy clothes for that people that care about you? No, but it's just say, wisen up. Don't be the person that's buying all of that stuff, and then later on be the same person complaining about how they ain't do this and do that for us. It's not adding up. That's the hypocritical thing that I just don't get with people. Like, if you're gonna go that route, stay that route. But if you're trying to, you're not gonna have, like, say you're for our people and you got your hand up with a Louis Vuitton logo all over yourself. You look like Ren and Tin, and it looks crazy. And then you fighting for something and you're fighting to say, oh, this is luxury, this is rich and that. But there's a lot of people that make great fashion in our culture that has luxury items too. This hoodie is no different from any luxury hoodie that is out there right now, but it's all about perception. So if you don't believe in your own people, what results you think you're gonna get? You're not gonna get any value out of the clothing you get. You're just trying to look like you're a part of something. And right now, being a part of anything over that side, it doesn't look too good. So I see where you're going with it, but I just feel like people need to take it down a notch and start realizing the things that you put on, your ID, the way you present yourself, says a lot about you, and a lot about the times and how you feel about the people. You'd be surprised. You don't have to open your mouth to say something. People, they can read you very well. I seen another thing going around with this Chris Brown. So Chris Brown, he's dealing with. In some sense, this has been going on for a while now. people making documentaries and they're not getting like the sign off from the actual people in the documentary because there's legal ways of going about everything, and that's what happens, what people don't understand. There's legal ways of making documentaries and there's illegal ways of making it. And I just feel like Chris is fighting. He's trying to sue them for 500 million over the and I believe it's ID, that's on the History Channel. But the reason why he's suing them, I believe, if he sticks to the false information on there, but it didn't even release yet. So I don't know how strong of a lawsuit this could be if they didn't release it yet. But I think what he's fearing, the things that probably pushes him back is the stories that they're going to tell. Most likely they'll bring up the Rihanna story and I guess other stories he had going on in the news. I'm not sure. That's the only, and he's scared because in these times, when you're dealing with headlines and things like that, just look at what happened to Diddy, so I can understand him trying to lawyer up for that. But 500 million, and he also said that he's going to donate some of it if he wins it to sexually abused victims and things like that. So I always felt when it comes down to Chris Brown, and you're saying like you're clearing your name in the public and things like that, I feel like I don't think the public was scrutinizing Chris as much as media was. So I think that's why this fight has a little bit of juice to it. But for everybody else, just take this as a lesson. Just know that when you get yourself involved with people you can't trust, and this is including the females or the males you're dating, things can happen. When you're dealing with drugs and things that can alter how you think, things can happen. So these, when just if what they was, I guess what they was trying to do is make it a whole big thing. But what they don't understand too, that will also put a bigger dent in his career. But he also, some of it, if it's true, I'm believing that it can go through. There's legal ways of doing documentaries. I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of people do it on. And then there's illegal ways that people that don't even understand how to do documentaries, they don't get the right permission, they don't get the right licensing for pictures, even footage, and then they find themselves in big lawsuits. So I don't know what part of maybe he's seen a clip of it or something, because I know I didn't see any trailers or anything for it. The only documentary that I last seen on was the Diddy. I didn't see anything coming up for Chris Brown, but hey, you never know. People get the insides and boom. Wow. Oh, I seen that. I did see that. Sexyy Red, she apologizes to Bernice King over the AI Malcolm X. And I believe Bernice King is Malcolm X's daughter. And shouts out to, not Malcolm X, Martin Luther King's daughter, excuse me. I'm sorry, Malcolm X. Shouts out to Martin Luther King and just the whole family. When to be honest with you, I didn't really keep up with what they had going on. So when I seen the first time, I believe they said it was his son, I seen he was so old, I was like, wow, time flies. It just hit me. I just thought about it like, wow, time flies. Like I thought it would be, like younger, but then you realize time goes really quick. But I'm glad that she didn't take it in no way and she did the apology. It just shows that she does have a level of respect for her elders and things like that. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I would apologize too. Because just what she stands for in hip hop, if they went looking her up, I don't think they would see the best of person to represent, Martin Luther King, or any, So I'm glad that she took that, and that puts a better light on her character as well too. I think that gave her a better light, because before this, I seen a lot of AI Martin Luther King. That was one of the first like AI pics people were messing with, like a lot of pics like that, a lot of Mona Lisa pics and things like that. AI was really fiddling with. So I know their family probably had problems with that whole AI system, all the systems trying to make these faces. Man, in these times right now, you don't know what's real or fake. You just gotta try to find a connection within the people you watch and try to find truth within the story. If you can relate to it and have some kind of understanding of what's going on, then it makes it that much more understandable for you. But nowadays, with a lot of this misleading information and misguided people thinking, it goes into their memory bank and they think that is true. And you're just occupying space of nonsense in your head where you can really learn something that could be beneficial to, what you got going on, if you got something going on. Man. Another thing that was kind of crazy, man, And this is not even to be funny or anything like that, because I don't really like to talk on people's families unless it's a thing that comes up on the news or criminal. But Kodak Black, congratulations for welcoming his fifth child with his fourth baby mother. What's up with that? And I'm be the first to tell you, I'm not gonna sit back and think like, I'm not gonna act like that's cool either, man. Having all these baby mothers and you walking around with all the, like, you gotta come to a point where you're gonna have to settle down and start realizing, even if something go wrong in the relationship, don't run into make another baby. Maybe try to fix what you got going on, because then you got a whole list of all of these baby mothers, man. Trust me, when the kids get older, it's no good. The family structures have been broken, you know. As much as you might think, oh, I have enough money to do this, money to do that, at the end of the day, you know, we see that money doesn't really heal all the mental health issues that sometimes the youth go through trying to find understanding in the wrongs in their family. So pay attention to that more than pay attention to your wallet or what's in your pants. But congratulations, the kid is here. What could we do? You know, this is his fifth with his fourth baby mother. So hopefully, if you do have other kids, they'll be with out of one of those. I guess out of one of those four. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Another thing, you know, she's just a mess. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, Bhad Bhabie shows up online with two black eyes, y'all. Two black eyes. Now they're saying that she took off her post and everything, and they said it has something to do with her nose surgery. And I see two wrongs in that. Number one, what the hell? You're back in this black eye stuff and this whole cover up on social media stuff. Don't you see what's going on in your life? You're headed down the wrong path. If something should happen to you within these past couple months, not only is it not going to be surprising, but you got to understand, people told you. There's other examples of people that like you in the past that didn't make it out of this thing alive. Two black eyes. And let's just say through the surgery, it was through surgery those black eyes happened. You are a young lady. Why are you doing all of these nose surgeries, this and that? And I'm not telling people what to do, but you got to understand, I believe there's right now, there is I believe it was TikTok or one of these platforms. She was a big content creator, and she passed away through surgery. And this is the type of surgery that, you know, this is not like you got hurt. This type of surgery, this is all has to do with how you feel about yourself, your looks, your features. So when you see things like that, it does. I don't care what many of these people tell you how out here in Hollywood or wherever they got going on. Whenever you start changing the features of your body, the features of your face, there's insecurities attached to that. And it's always of what you think other people think of you. And that right there shows that you are in a bad place. Why? Number one, you just had a baby. You're going through things with your what are you trying to, you think that having a new nose job is gonna, look, your looks is not gonna be sustainable to, if your man or whoever you're dating is only looking for you for looks, then it ain't real love, because everybody changes. We get older as time goes. But you're gonna keep having to do surgeries as you keep going on. You gotta fix your life. Surgeries are not just that. Surgeries don't take away their inside feeling. If you feel the inside of you that you're not up to what somebody else is supposed to think that you're supposed to look like, then you got a problem within yourself. Stop changing up yourself, and now you got two black eyes behind it. Let's just hopefully say those black eyes came from that surgery, and those black eyes didn't come from your partner not liking what you did to your nose. Because I don't know if you got the nose surgery of what you guys are going through, because you guys are living in a violent relationship, and we've seen it on social media. This is not something that we're making up. And you sit there and you think that, look, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you about our people. They're not going to care for you. Because number one, you took on black culture at its lowest. You didn't take on black culture and say, you know what, I like that music. I'm going to go in there. I like how the chicks be going in there. They be bossing up this and that. And I'm going to take that from the culture. I'm going to work with it. No, you took the negative side of it, and you got everything that came with it. And I know you don't like it because you're not ready for this type of life. It's obvious you're not ready. Right now, you are in your pleasing stages, trying to please whoever you got behind there, trying to hold on to them, and nothing is gonna be good enough for them because they got you doing this to yourself. Whenever you see your partner got their partner running back and forth to the surgeries and changing this on their behind and changing their hair and their looks changing every week, trying to keep up with your partner's person that he's out there trying to sleep with, then you got a problem. You got a problem. There's still people out there that's gonna love on you that you don't have to, stay run behind or change up how you look because if a person doesn't make you feel like you're the most beautiful person in the world, then I don't know who you dealing with. I don't know who you dating. I mean, dating ain't easy, but damn. You gotta do better than that. I know you'll find happiness in a single lifestyle more than trying to sit around somebody that don't appreciate you for who you are. And I feel like that happens a lot of times when it comes down to a lot of these females trying to get surgeries to impress people on social media. If your behind is shaped a certain way, why would you want it to look like every other chick? How are you gonna stand out in that? How are you gonna be identified? You're gonna be identified just like the rest of them. Keep the features that God gave you and keep the things that you might think is wrong. Those are the things that really make you who you are. So when those other people try to look like you, they don't got those distinct features that you really have. They just have like a shell of you. How many females you see that try to look like Kim Kardashian? Are we talking truth or not? For as many people that say they don't like her and this and that and how her family's this and that, how many I've seen from all cultures try to look like Kim Kardashian. And she's trying to look like somebody else that she probably ain't even telling us because she does the surgery stuff too. But I'm pretty sure that at this point in time, the people that you think are doing all these surgeries and stuff, they're probably not doing it as much as you are trying to keep up with them. The grass ain't greener on the other side. The grass is burning on the other side. Open your eyes. You thought it was greener and then you looked over and that match got lit and it never stopped burning since. So now that these people see that we understand they don't got no love for us and they're only out there to get something out of us, they want us to feel now to still trust in them. Does that make sense? Does it make any kind of sense? We can do better than that as people, man. If you're trusting in celebrities and you're not even trusting in your own family or people that surround you, your life is backwards. Is that much screwed up. You know what? I forgot to take off the what you call it, the notifications. What else we got going on here? I'm gonna be replying to. I can't really read it from here. If I could, I'm gonna get a better setup where I can just read you guys conversations on the comments and also include that in my live. But if you guys have any questions on what's been going on as far as culture-driven things, as far as different, let me know and we can chop it up. I'm gonna be responding to a lot of you guys' questions later on when I get off of this too. Yeah, Donald Trump, he out there signing autographs, man, changing things up. I would say just be prepared. Don't right now is not a time to say jump in ownership of everything like how these people tell you on YouTube. Just you have to do this and do that. No, right now it's a time to kind of make a blueprint of where your money's at. Don't overspend. Try to eat good and stay away from all this poisonous stuff. Every day in the news they got some. I want you guys to also go check that video out that I dropped on food and the foods that's poisoning and stuff. And they also introducing this new way of selling fruits where they have like luxury fruits where it's going to be more expensive for these certain fruits. And the fruits, I don't know, if they're natural fruits. All I can say is I guess they're being their grow is better. But I'm feeling like, damn, we should have had that grow for everybody. So now they're going to try to separate the luxury fruit. But I wouldn't go into just eating the luxury fruits because when you do things like that and you put a price on it, they can also put you in a data bank of how many people, and they can guide you throughout the fruits. You might thinking it's just you eating the fruits, but they want to see the amount of numbers of people that can buy into thinking that that's going to be more healthy or this and that, and then they'll know how to throw you other products that when they throw health attached to it, that people will run on and stand on that line for. So you got to be very careful. When it comes down to fruits, they're natural, and I don't think that the price should be going up and down like it's gasoline, you know? But they're trying to put a price on the things that we really need, and that's going to be really, you know, we're going to really need for these times going through, because we got a few more years. It's not just 1 or 2. We got a few more years to try to make a breakthrough for ourselves and our families. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I have some new ideas I'm working on, a lot of new things that I'm coming up with and I'm putting to the side, and I'm just trying to build things. That's what 2025 is about. We're going to have a lot of depression. I see a lot of people depressed, and that's never any good. I don't see people coming together when they're depressed. Usually when people get depressed, they get in this state where they jump into their own bubble. So I'm gonna be knocking on a lot of you guys' bubbles, and just open your eyes up to something different, so you don't have to be outside to know how to handle the things that's happening inside. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on in the news where we see that, you know, they're saying crime is dropping at a quick rate, and how we only got like what 28%. It dropped 28%, but you know, that's out of what, you know, and out of and how long, and is that monthly, weekly? It's crazy. I feel like crime is not gonna really, we're not gonna see some kind of change when it comes down to crime until, like, we see, you know, the normal life living of going, you know, just going places and enjoying yourself without somebody snatching the purse or somebody getting shot. Until those things tame down, the crime is just gonna be, it's gonna be like a seesaw. You know, one day you might have a good sunny day, and the next night that goes, you know, a whole group of people might get shot up, and that's just kind of, it's like walking on eggshells, like I always tell you guys that we are, the times we are living in now. You know. Let me see. I wasn't surprised, you know, when I seen, just to jump back on that, you know, I jump around, just to jump back on that Fat Joe thing when he went out to Chicago, like, I didn't even know that he was still performing like that, and maybe, you know, a lot of dudes, they're performing like their older songs, and they're still getting booked for certain places and things like that. But social media is real, man. If you do something online and you just go splurt out anything, you can't just go and just think like, oh, I'm gonna sell products. No, and we're to a point where I feel like at this point, I don't feel like him apologizing at this point, it would be taken like he really meant it, because it took so much and so long. So that right there, it's nuts. It's nuts. I seen Jim Jones. He ended up, I guess he's working on like an album, and he ended up using the name that Cameron called him. I'm not sure if that. Hold on 1 minute. I'm not sure if that was Jimmy's real name. I'm not sure if that was Jimmy's real name, but I guess he's gonna name it Jomo. So he's taking a whole like promotional approach to this whole back and forth with the Dipset as far as their friendship. So you never know if there's a possibility that these two guys could possibly be friends again, or if they're just gonna cut ties at this point and just keep it all music and go along their way. I feel like with the temperature going on, I do at this point have a better understanding why. And I feel like the whole hip hop game is just, it's based off of just people making more, and people getting a profit off of things. And there's a lot of greedy people within that. It kind of sucks. It's sad. I see a lot of people going to be losing a lot of jobs to AI, because not only are people not being compensated, when it comes down to AI, you don't have to pay the AI. You pay one time for whatever machine you got going on, and it's doing a whole bunch of work. But it leaves people outside knowing not what to do. But in another sense, I look at that like, you know what? Maybe that's how it's supposed to go. And those people, even though it's kind of like they push them to sink or swim, maybe they'll find, you don't want to find yourself in another system where you're not getting compensated. You got to try to find yourself in a way making some money. Good morning. I feel so good. All right, cool. Blessings. How you doing this morning? You good? The weather out here is freezing, man. It is freezing. Maybe some of this cold can go over, this cold air can go over to LA and get all that, the fires and everything. I'm not sure, is it, I think the fires are still going. I'm not sure. It's just crazy. But yeah, man, good morning. Much love, man. Yeah, man. I'm not the one for the cold weather either, man. I'm not the one for the cold weather. You know, I'm like the old school was saying, I'm West Indian. I got that West Indian blood, man. Still got that West Indian blood. Yeah, I was born out here in America. Ain't that something too? A lot of immigrants and things like that, they're being faced with that. But I don't think it's the people. I don't know how they're working this with the whole immigrants, but I just feel bad for the people that really didn't come out here and try to do crime. They was really trying to get themselves settled and do their best. But then they had the other people that was just criminals. So I don't know, man. But for all my peoples back home, Barbados, shouts out to Barbados. I got a special, the reason why I can't really say, I got a special video that I'm dropping for you guys. It's like a new culture driven video. That's the best, that's the most I can say. Oh, you said you took the conversation the wrong way. No, I would never do that. No way. And you know, as a matter of fact, okay, I'll give you an example why the reason why I thought like that. I remember exactly what you're talking about. You know, before I had this brand, I had another, my first brand, it was called Goody Two Shoe. And around that time, Soldier Boy, he had, that brand was still popping. It was still moving. But what I'm trying to say is like, you know, like when it comes down to like building yourself with a brand, it's kind of like, think of like, I was trying to say, you know, kind of like balance out your worth within that brand too, because you're bringing more worth to the brand because you do so much for the brand by putting those pictures up, beautiful face, and people start to look and say, you know, a brand will do a lot better when the people instead of celebrities, other celebrities are wearing it. So when I see you now, you know, doing that's gonna build what you got going on. So when people see you doing that, yeah, you can take that and build your at the same time. It's just like working a job and sitting in there and still having something outside of that job that you know you take your check, a little piece out of your check and work with. You know, I would never. No, no, you don't have to apologize to me. You're the best though. That was kind. No, you don't. You know no, what I really, I would never do something like that. I would always steer you in the right way. Like I'll give myself an example. I'm hard on myself. For example, um, so if it was another brand out there that needed me to help them do something, I'm gonna, I'm gonna definitely give it my all. But the profit that I get from it, I'm gonna want a little piece of value out of that profit. So the token I would take out of that, the same person that I'm working with, I would, because clothing, you know, whether you're getting it on the line, I would want some kind of discount or some kind of maybe a help in return, not on the financial side, but just on the, you know, the promotional side for myself and my brand. Because look, let me tell you, sweetheart, we all brands when it boils down with what's going on in politics and people, so many jobs are, they're not paying people. We all become brands, whether we have our own brand for ourselves or whether we just are wearing somebody else's stuff and we're getting paid for it. You know, so that's all I meant by that though. Because you'll be surprised, just you standing in the mirror, standing there, cutie pie, standing in the mirror is gonna do better than that shot that somebody's walking down the city with Hermes bag or whatever. Because that doesn't show that there's some type of, you know, relatability or some type of connection to what we got going on. Yeah, man. And I feel like, you know what too, I'm sometimes I think like we're gonna have more opportunities coming for us, but then sometimes I know the greed of all of these bigger companies and things like that, and they're gonna find their ways just to X us out. So we gotta, you are doing the right thing because you are in communication with the people that already had they you know, a foot in the game, and they already had successful points. So you learn from that and make their successful points a part of you too, because you're helping out them reaching more stuff. So that's all. And you keep that in your bio all the time. The more you build your bio, that builds the trust in whoever that may be, another brand that want to look into what you did for them. So you can always keep building on that. And then in between that, like, yo, you guys, I've been doing this for you guys, but look, I got a brand of myself. This is what I love. Let people know I love this too. And you'd be surprised how many people will love to support you because you supported them. You see? And both of those people, Lazy Bone and Soulja Boy, are good-hearted people. I like Lazy too. Bone Thugs, the best. So now you have a little, you have stake in the game. You have stake in the game. You just got to figure it out. That's trust. That they trust you enough that they know that, you know, when you put on something and you're doing a promotion or you're trying to show people that this is dope, that it's gonna have some more staying power than just an average person throwing on something. So yeah, and name it up. Always put your name to whatever they have going on too. Don't be afraid to do that. Like if you have a name that you have for yourself, you're calling your whatever the stylist, whatever the fashionista, you know, whatever the fashion queen, whatever you got going on, add that to what you're doing. So when somebody sees that, oh, the la 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 was wearing that, you know, and that's going to bring you more value and it's going to give you a lot of foot in the game. You'll be surprised how you might not even be able to get a time to start your brand if another big brand pull you in and they believe in you so much with your trust that they'll buy your time. Your time is precious, and you have to make sure that if somebody wants to buy into what you got going on or what you can do for them, that they see, you know, they see that you see some kind of benefits for real. You know what I used to do with my first brand? I got it around Young Jock had wore my first brand. I had people from Love and Hip Hop. I sent it out to Rich Dollars. You know, even Sean Kingston and his mom. They had shouts out to them. They had picked it up. I had a few celebrities wear it, and now they didn't. You know, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. It's not like they went and bought it. Like I sent it out, and sometimes you have to add. One of my friends knew Young Jock. He's cool with Young Jock, and he said, "I'm gonna try to get your brand over there, and you see if he likes it." And he liked it, and he put it on right there. And he said, "No, hold on. Let me take the picture, send it back to him." So that connection that you have with people, it goes a long way, you know. And there's always going to be people tuned in because even celebrities are looking in and seeing what's hot in the street, what people are liking and what they're not liking. You're going to be surprised, but you're going to see that these top high fashion brands, you're going to start seeing the biggest decrease of them and people more jumping into, you know, their energy of what they're wearing. And brands love that. They love a person that can just go left and still stand out, you know? I know that for a fact. Like when I look at people and just observe people on, whether I have this channel that I watch, you know, when they walk around the city, and I believe his name is Dev Moore. You could check his channel out, where they walk around he walks around the city and just checks people outfits, and you just see that their personalities has a lot of play in their outfits. And you take that, like, you know, a lot of people, they're like, I'm going to start a brand, but this is what I do right now, and they're still in the business, still working for somebody, so they still getting a foot in the game, and that's dope. I kind of like just jumped on the brand because when I was working in the city, it had nothing to do with fashion. So just being around that enough, that. Trust me, you're doing the right thing. Keep building on it, for real. But I would only try to give you my best advice. You know, I wouldn't do that. I appreciate people that's still trying to, you know, trying to make it work. In these times, we all we got. I really mean that. But you good though. And you can do some really dope things. That's why I said you could always start adding to it. Just because you're promoting for one brand, you don't put two brands together. But if you have something that's dear to you, or you want to show something that you want to highlight, yeah, add that in. Shoot. Yeah, it's all there. I have some new videos out too for you to check out. Oh, I didn't even know. You gotta let me know. I would never do. Are you kidding me? I would never. Oh man, you took it the wrong way. But you could always talk to me though. Like, even if like I'm the type of person you could be like, yo, what do you meant by that? Because sometimes I could just say, you know, I say something and then it might, if you just read it like they might take it some way. That's my fault. That ain't your fault. That's my fault. That's my fault. You better jump back on there and follow me, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. That's real. That's real. We only human. Yeah, you got me feeling like that. That's a good thing, though. I'm glad you shared some of that energy with me because you got me ready to design something real nice and maybe I owe you one for that for misconstruing it there. That was my fault. Not being clear enough on what I was trying to say. Sometimes the idea just hit my head and I just splurge it out because I don't want to lose the idea. Next time I write it down, construct it a little better and then make it easier. Yeah, man. But I ain't got no time to, give some bad advice. I seen the whole the fashion industry changing when I seen that, like, it's like you go through different eras of fashion, and I've been through the eras where, like, I'm seeing things, people are doing the same things over, and I know people are younger and they don't get it like that, but, like, let's just say I've been through the times where fashion was more about the person, and you had things like where it was community driven, where like certain neighborhoods would have, you can look at a person and tell what fashion and where they were from. But now when social media comes into it, it's kind of like you gotta, if you don't dress who you are, then people will lose you. It's like I see people dressed like rock stars and they don't listen to rock and roll. I've seen more of my people going to thrift, and that's a new thing that I have picked up on from watching this dude's videos. Like, people are going into thrift shops and stuff and buying and piecing things together, and it's just the times we living in. I think that, like, high fashion is not in a good place right now because I don't think I think they're more about the price than they're about the people. In any business, in any company, anytime that starts happening, it's never too good. It's never too good. You're just trying to keep up with what's going on. So when it comes to fashion, I'm seeing that it's changing, and some of the youth, they are kind of doing things that we did in the past. Like, okay, so for example, in our time, there was a company I really had loved his brand and T-shirts. I don't know if you heard of it, Johnny Cupcakes, and he was very creative as far as like his packaging and things like that. That's one of the things that attracted me. But when fast fashion came around in these times, I seen the youth more steering towards the thing because they're not in these times. You're not saving that favorite sweater. People are not wearing it again because social media makes you think that, yo, if you wear it again, you don't have no money, or you ain't got the right drip. But when you date your clothes, like I have jackets that date the jackets, it brings more value to it. You can go back like, oh, I remember this polo from here and there. They don't have that in these times because a lot of the fashion is fast. So if you wanted to concentrate on just packaging, it probably wouldn't even make sense to do something like that. Yeah, it'll catch the consumer's eye, but they probably rip open the packaging, sit that on the desk, wear the clothing one piece one time, and then that ends up being in the garbage. Fashion doesn't feel collectible anymore. It feels more like it's just based color driven, and it's just out there to get that one look, two look, and it's just gone. We gotta get back to where we hold our pieces and keep our stories in our pieces. You see, okay, so if they're concentrating on packaging, so then that says that you have to find a way to the best packaging for the most profit you can, because we all know packaging makes the product, but it brings up the price in a way because you have to spend so much for the packaging. Because to be honest with you, when it comes down to like T-shirts and things like that, I only break even. But if you're gonna do hair and you have a dope way of packaging it where it doesn't take too much of your money and put like you got something going. But packaging sometimes could be everything as long as you're not overspending on it. Because then it's so, don't you see like how in these times, like the simplest of things are the things that make you the most money. And it's weird because if you're a creator and you're a designer, you want to have those little quirky things. Maybe it looks like something else, and when it's like always that form of surprise. But in these times, I'm noticing that the most simplest things are the ones that's making the most money. So it's so crazy to think like, you don't want to concentrate and put your money too much in the packaging. Even though we know those are the things that we like, the dopeness of the things that we like, we kind of gotta like set that aside until and make those maybe like this is a surprise package. You know, like I remember that too. What happened to all of the, you know, they had like surprise bundles where you spend like $100 and you just dig in the box and give like the customers more of an experience. Nowadays, it's just like, it's just a one-time thing. I hate that about it. I hate that about it because if we treat our clothes like pieces and we have dope packaging and we saved all this stuff, then you know how much value that thing will bring? Wow. People don't even know that fashion, don't you, like, I look at it so far out sometimes with fashion. Like, people need our fashion now for movies that's gonna depict us later on in the future. It's hard if you really look at, like, for example, like movies like Paid in Full. Paid in Full was a movie where that it was given like a glimpse of the 80s. So they had to get all the 80s fashion, the 80s cars. So if people are just throwing this fashion away, and there's somebody out there in the movies that want to tell a story about how, you know, this guy Trenchcoat Eddie came up with Eddie Bauer or something, it's going to be hard to find the damn trench coat because nobody saved it. They threw it away and they didn't realize no value in it. And it's like throwing away time. It's like throwing away time. I don't know. You keep your fashion and you'll be surprised. Like, that's the reason why certain brands still hold some value. One of the top brands that held Supreme, that was one of the top brands. But then if you look at Polo is a dated fashion. So if you have Polo from like the 90s and it's gonna be look better and feel better material than the Polo that will be out now, because I don't know, man. Maybe I'm going off to the, but people just get rid of their fashion and they don't treat it like it's anything. I try to hold on to the pieces that I really, really love. Save a lot of coats that I like, that I want to bring back and things like that. If you're selling hair pieces, oh man, you can, I know where you can package it up so dope. You said they had loved your packaging, but if the packaging starts costing more than the pieces, that's when you're like, man, you can't hurt the profit. Sometimes I would give away more clothes than I was getting sales in, and that would hurt me too. But I just seen the people, a lot of people that were dancing in the outfits, and I fell so much in love with that part. I'm starting to forget, babe, I gotta make some money here, you know. But it's good to always feel good about people wearing your pieces, and that's why I always love when somebody and anybody can promote a fashion. I'm always there for you. I'm gonna get my stuff together. I'm gonna get you to wear some of my stuff. Shoot, I gotta start really working on the females more and start putting some more things on the rack for you guys. But I love that though. You can always tell, and people are all, you know, you good people. I'm glad I found you, because good people, there's a lot of people, they wouldn't, you know, they know I'm out here working my hardest with my thing, and they're not going to support because they waiting to see if it touched this certain level. And then there's people out of nowhere that just say, I like that. Oh, that's what you was wearing was, that's what you're selling, that's it, and they support. So people like you, we need more of you people like you in this world. And don't let whoever you work for, don't let them forget who you are, because you're doing help for them, and it's the same way, you know, one hand wash the other. It's only right. It's only right. Yeah, they wait until this viral thing, and to me, like, viral is weird. That means that I'm gonna go nuts, and I'm gonna change the designs up, because that means our whole abundance of people is wearing the same thing, and that's not really, you know, that's kind of crazy in itself. I probably switch color code, you know. I don't know. I've seen, like, I didn't even know that the Spider hoodie, that was Young Thug's, and they were bootlegging his stuff. It got to the point when he was in court, they were bootlegging it. So I see a lot of people, I see a lot of things that have no licensing. Like, you'll see something with like Whitney Houston on it or something, or Bob Marley, and they don't have licensing for it. It's crazy. Right now, the game is all open. I try to just, if I feel like I'll love wearing it, then that's when I present it. If I feel like it's a little too, I don't know, not there, then I'm not. It takes me a while to drop. Yeah. What are you talking about when you can? You're supporting me now. This is support. You tuning in, saying what's up, maybe a like or two. That's all the support I need. That's all the support I need. Don't ever think that you're not supporting. Man, I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the love. It's gonna be a time where we're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back. Our people, I feel it's gonna be a time we're gonna get it back. People gonna start supporting again. We're gonna come back together. Right now, we gotta watch what we have. All of us. We have to hold what we got. Hold what we got. Don't spend it all. Don't put into this too much. Hold what you got. Put a little savings to the side. Hold what you got. Don't mean that you're not supporting. I know you're supporting. I know you got love for me. I know you're referring to the brand, but I wanna drop something that everybody like, oh, I gotta get it. So I'm working for you guys. I appreciate the love though. I'm about to go work on this video. It's a surprise for later on tonight. But I put up a video on, you gotta check out too, it's on biracial people. And the conversation, I learned a lot of things in there. Like they're not, it's a weird thing. Like how could somebody say, if you're mixed white and black, right? People are gonna judge you on how you look at that point. You could identify as a black person, but you have white skin because of your mom or your dad, or they have lighter skin, a light-skinned black person, and people automatically like, no, you're this. So they kind of, in that sense, they kind of have to wait to see how their features come out, then for people to accept them. I'm like, what? It was absolutely crazy. I think I'm gonna watch that while I design again. The conversations were absolutely crazy. But hey man, gotta be good to people, man. You're welcome. I appreciate all my peoples, man. So much going on. It's sad, but we see a lot of these artists right now. The ones that are down are the ones that are just misguided. They'll do anything just for some attention, for some money, and that's scary. You got to stand on something. Sometimes you'll be surprised that sometimes saying no could be the best. That's the best. Sometimes that's the best thing for you, man. Saying yes to everything is not just, I don't know. I'm hungry right now. You see what I'm saying? And people, they automatically want to tell you what you are. You're like, wait, hold on. And it's crazy because you know who you are. You know your family. They're loving people. Everybody's experience is so different. You can't tell your parents who they slept with. Like you can't, it doesn't matter, I could be here saying, if I fall in love with somebody outside of my culture tomorrow, nobody can tell me, and so what, we're not gonna have kids because what? And it's sad because then you don't know what state the world is gonna be in at the time, and it's scary how people think. They should really look past that. I don't know. Whenever you hear somebody judge a whole group of people, I never go with it. I'm like, what are you talking? How could they all be? No, I always question it. Because I seen a lady. Her dad was light. Her dad was black, light skin, very light, and her mom was white. So she came out very light, but she identified as black, and there's nothing wrong with that. To me, it's kind of like you kind of got to identify both sides, but sometimes depending on the area you come up in or the people you're around, they kind of identify it for her. It's like that. There's different struggles in every culture. People just say anything about anybody, not knowing who they're offending. You know that you know that not all white people are racist, right? So when you hear people say things like that, they don't know it still could be offensive to a black person too, or a Hispanic person or whoever, because you don't know. Some people are adopted by, people out here, they're just talking because they got lips. and don't and oh boy, they're gonna hit me in the head with this one. They're gonna beat me down for this one. But I feel like the mixed generation, they are some of the most beautifulest people too. Everybody want to say how, things don't. Sometimes, look, listen. I can't say how two people fall in love and if they want to have how many kids. You can't. No, 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 no. And I don't necessarily, I don't necessarily, I like to get to know a person, but I don't necessarily make that the end all be all their culture or where they come from. So if I love a person, I'm gonna try to adapt and try to learn more about their culture and be more accepting than just come on. Some people that I've seen that on in the conversation, I'm going back. It was very interesting too. Some people that I've seen on it that I like, if they stood in front of me, I wouldn't have known that they were black. But see, the type of person I am, I wouldn't have made that the leading approach anyway. I wouldn't have even seen some. I don't really just jump right off to your culture. Where are you from? Where looking at people, it's like, man, man. I don't know. And then I put the one with oh my goodness, they served me. You wouldn't believe it. I put the one out with the Puerto Ricans versus Dominicans. Oh my goodness, they had my head. But it's good for me though, because I said something like, Spanish people, and that's offensive. I guess that can be used offensive in their culture. So I guess and I asked them, what will be a more respectable way. So I think maybe saying like Hispanic or Latino, Latina. It's just things I'm learning as well too, because I grew up with a lot of like I would say Spanish, but now I'm like I grew up a lot of Hispanic people in my school, a lot of Hispanic. So it's just a respectable way of going about things. That's all. But they have my head like, no, why you say Spanish? You're just doing this for the views. I'm like, doing it for the what? Yeah, like I did like 50,000 views. No, I had a nice little conversation brewing. That wasn't the outlook of it. I was just trying to really with the Hispanic one. I was just really trying to. It was really complexion driven. To show people that if somebody just kept their mouth shut and it was all complexion driven, that's where their fusses and their gripes are. It's complexion driven. Your skin is darker, your skin is lighter. Oh, it's like the same, blue versus red, like I never knew love to be that shallow where you see somebody and you say, you know what? Damn, I'm attracted to her, but she's a little too dark. Like what? Like then don't you gotta find yourself like Trust me, people sometimes they don't even know what they're saying and how it could be so disrespectful. That's why I always I corrected myself quick. I wasn't gonna go out there and disrespect those people, especially when I have friends that are Hispanic. I'm not like that. So I went back and I got it correct. And in some ways, I'm like, man, it does sound like it's kind of labeling everybody. But I didn't know, I guess that's almost like saying we're English. Like English is what we speak. I don't know, But I just know that everybody has in their cultures, they have these gripes. I really want to cover maybe give a highlight that we all beefing about something. We need to stop the beefing. Right now, it's scary what's going on. With Donald Trump and everything, he's back and yeah, he's kicking butt, man. I don't know. It's like a book signing or something, the way he's doing it. But I'm just hoping the best for everybody, and hopefully we can, we don't have to depend on politics to like guide our lives in these times. I see a lot of people like scared and hurt, and this is like stopping certain people from wanting to go forward with things they had planned. I'm like, nah, you're supposed to really still push forward, because don't let politics stop you from being who you are. We're not all rich, but we're trying to make through. We're trying to get through. We're trying to make through. It's not going to be easy, but we got to do what we got to do, man. That's why sometimes that thing ticked me off so much, because some of these artists, they don't even know that the opportunities that they're given and the people that support them, be out here supporting them, they don't even know that some of these people, we might not have as much as those millions they have, and we're still in support, because it's only right that when we listen to something that that's sustainable enough to make us feel the good vibes, that they should be compensated. So it's like a 50-50, but then they get around, and once you serve somebody bad energy and they got to go home in an environment that's aggressive and deal with the same type of thing that they're talking about, it's kind of like you don't even, after a while, you start pushing away from that. You start pushing away from that stuff. Why do you think all of the music that's coming from before America used to be the most popular, when it comes down to music, pop music, it used to be the top. And people from other places would even listen to our music, not even knowing the words, but still feel the vibes of the music and still cry for Michael Jackson and things like that. But now it seems like we are, the good people out here looking towards their music that got the good vibes, and we're reaching out for their music because it feels a little more wholesome and it feels a little more better. Because, I mean, come on now. I'm thinking in the works. Did y'all see? I don't know. I seen a little video go down. I don't know if it was old or new. You know how this not Instagram. It was X, Twitter. I seen Nicki Minaj maybe hinting that she's gonna have like a new album. Nick is no joke with that pen. She's no joke with the pen. She's no joke. I always commend the people that actually write their own music, and this is no takeaway from anybody that was in the past. I'm not talking about Drake, or I'm not talking about anybody like that. I'm not. I'm talking about just the way that she's a one of one, is that she can wake up in the morning, feel a certain type of way, put that ink to the paper, or write it out, and then get it out there. And the magic in that's what music is all about. Not just coming up with an idea and say, this is what I'm thinking about. Could y'all do for me? That's the business. And I'm glad that, she still has that, and, so if she does have like a surprise drop, that'd be really dope too. As far as the dudes, man, I haven't seen a lot of these rappers in a long time with their music. I go back to the stuff that's on my playlist. Oh. See? You got to get on some Fenty products too. You're really into, you know what? You're a good person, man. So you supported her, you had supported her, but she had what'd you say there? A nail line. There's so many different products out there that I feel like it's like you are ahead of the cosmetics in a whole. Yeah, you got a lot of work to do. Build that resume up nice. Man, listen. And even sometimes that is a good thing to do. Support the brands and the people that you believe in, and they see you. The ones that I know Nick will see you. Press on nail line. Yeah, they were dope. I know she had some wild type of nails too. They're like all of those like long nails and stuff. Man, yeah, man. Yep, I'm about to go smack on some food real quick. Oh, I know. Before we get out of there, he filed that 500. But look, you know what though? I feel like with Chris, they was gonna try to do Chris dirty, man. I feel like they was trying to do Chris dirty, and it's not like, if you keep bringing up these stories, they don't realize that it not only hurts Chris, but it still hurts Rihanna too. It hurts the victim of the situations too. Just because it might give him just a bad light, it doesn't give her like an empowering light, because she also has those memories. We don't know how she feels about it. So them just bringing up a documentary on that, we know that's what they're gonna highlight. It's not gonna be in his best interest of documentaries. So for 500 million, yeah, I've seen weird stuff, especially on YouTube. I've seen people, point people out, say how so-and-so is a killer and he did this, he did that. I just like, word? This is him? He's a rapper? And they got the whole list of all the things the guy did. He done kill this one, kill that one. But when it comes to Chris and that whole, people, it's a stain. When you put when you get into that domestic violence and that whole thing, it's a stain on you I feel just as a man too. And it could go both ways. It could go both ways, but I just feel like it's a heavier stain on the male, especially right now in these times. And that's a weird thing because I still stand behind what I believe. I feel like America is not, they don't respect females. And that's not just from people I've dated. I'm just talking about just in general. Their offerings to the workplace, their offerings to society when it comes down to mental health and health in general, they don't really get their just due all the time. I worked in corporate before where everybody on the floor, they're all a bunch of ladies, and then in the boss's office, those are the males, and those ladies working around these people. But they're the ones that's getting the job done. So it's weird how certain things they rep for you, and then in certain things they don't give you respect for. It's just weird. But when it comes down to like domestic violence and things like that, it's a stain, man. All of that stuff, that it ain't even worth it. But he tried to put that if he get that 500, he said something like how he's gonna donate some to sexual abuse victims and all that. Look, the sexual abuse and things, it's not really that much to do with money. Even though you see people suing and things like that, it's really that what's been taken from those victims can never be replaced. It can never ever be replaced. When you do, I told a story in the past. I don't want to keep bringing up a story, but I remember at a young age, a female telling me about how, that had happened to her, and it's something that you just can't. You can never replace that. So whenever you add money into those type of situations, it gets very blurry and weird. I don't know. ASAP trying not to leave his lady. He better not leave Riri. But she gonna stand by his side. That's how we do. That's how we do. That's how we do. You gotta stand by your partner's side no matter what. Don't just get up and run. Because in times like this, man, we need each other, man. Then I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I appreciate you for tuning in, chopping it up with me. I always appreciate you guys. Just spread some good love out there, and stay away from the news. Don't keep the news in your ear all the time, just seeing what bills been passed. Sometimes I see people getting frustrated with it and people getting scared because they're immigrants and things like that. Pray to God and hopefully things will work out. And at the same point, you do what you got to do to make things work out for your family. It's not that hard. It's not, it's not the end of the world. We're still here living, so we still have ways of making things better for ourselves. Are you following me? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, and we'll chop it up on another note. And love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe to the video. I love you guys, and just keep a clear mind and don't belittle people, y'all. Don't belittle people. We all come from a certain place and we try to make it up, but the people, even if you ain't gonna try to pick nobody up behind you, don't belittle and talk down on your own people. It don't say a lot for yourself. Show love to people, and you can pick who you want to show love to, but at the same point, we all one, man. We all gotta come together. So until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now.